you were shown a foam ball and a white glove, you probably wouldn't see the potential for a piece of theatrical magic. But that's exactly what's been created by Perth performer Tim Watts. His puppet character Alvin Sputnik has won hearts and critical acclaim around the world. Claire Nichols caught up with him on a brief visit to Perth.
Meet Alvin Sputnik, a deep-sea diver searching for lost love in a post-apocalyptic world.
Unfortunately, right at the beginning, Alvin Sputnik, his wife passes away and her soul leaves her body and sinks down into the depths of the ocean, and he tries to but can't swim after her because, you know, can't breathe underwater. So he actually joins this last-ditch effort that the remaining stragglers of humanity have put together to find a new place to live at the bottom of the ocean and bring that to the surface.
The foam ball turned man is the star of the show Alvin Sputnik Deep Sea Explorer, a blend of puppetry, animation, acting and music that's won rave reviews around the world.
It's like an epic adventure, but it's also very sweet and fun, and has a lot of heart, and yeah, it's a really fun show about some big things.
And disco dancing.
And disco dancing, yeah.
The show is the creation of Perth performer Tim Watts. He came up with the character at a puppetry workshop in Fremantle 2 years ago and realised he'd stumbled across something special. He made Alvin Sputnik the star of a show that includes live music, projections and light effects, all operated by the puppeteer.
I have little foot switches about the stage, and quite often I'm doing like several things at once. I'm puppeteering with my head, I'm puppeteering with my hands, and I'm operating lights with my feet. It really is a one-man show. Like one-man band playing harmonica and things like that.
Tim Watts first performed the show in Perth more than 2 years ago, but perhaps didn't realise its full impact until he took it to the New York Fringe Festival. There, the New York Times compared it to Pixar's WALL-E. Audiences queued for seats, and the show took home the prize for Best Solo Production. Not bad for a show that cost next to nothing to create, and a set that was built in the Watts family garage.
Designed the set and built it with my dad in the garage. And I kind of go, oh, Dad, it'd be cool if I had a light that did this. And so then he whips out the soldering iron and some LEDs and some switches, and, you know, I say, no, not like that, like this. And then, you know, I say, oh, what if we put it inside this? And it's, yeah, father-son bonding experience.
It's the very simplicity of the production that's captured people's imagination, much to the surprise of its young creator.
It's amazing when people can be, you know, brought to tears. I've had some people really emotionally affected by the show, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's just a foam ball and a glove. You know, this is bizarre that you can have these reactions.
Some of you will die. You will all probably die, but that is the chance that I am willing to take.
In the last 2 years, Tim Watts has taken the show around the world, performing in America, New Zealand and even South Korea, where the show was translated for the first time.
A really strange challenge for me to perform in a different language and, you know, say things, or, you know, have people read things and wait for the joke, or, you know, wait for, hopefully they're understanding what's going on, because I don't understand what this is.
But it was technical rather than linguistic difficulties that contributed to the most disastrous performance of the show to date.
They have rolling blackouts in India, in Delhi anyway, and so one day power failure, and so the projector cut out, and I need the projector to continue with the show, so that cut out. So I just kind of went, oh, and so I came out the front and started, so, you know, sorry everybody, having some technical issues, having a blackout. We'll sort that out in a moment. So we just have to wait for the power to come back on, and in the meantime I just played everyone some songs on the ukulele for about 15 minutes until that came back on, and then continued with the show. And then we found out afterwards that it wasn't even a blackout. A cleaner just went past a switchboard and just went, Yeah, that stuff should be off and just turned off all the power to the theatre.
At last count, Tim Watts had performed the show nearly 200 times, but it seems the world hasn't had enough of Alvin Sputnik and his underwater adventures. The show is now on its way to Europe, and there'll be a return season in Perth later this year. And while Tim Watts admits it's an exhausting process, there's no plans to bid farewell to his foam friend yet.
Right now I don't have any definite date. There's not going to be the John Farnham final tour or anything like that as yet, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still enjoying it. So,
what happens to Alvin when you retire him?
He'll go up on a mantelpiece, I think, or go back to his job as mooring boats.